My name is Tori, and you are listening to Tori Talks Music on Scatter Radio. And I'm currently on the phone with Joey from Face the King. Hi, Joey.
Hello.
So, you guys have been really busy lately, haven't you? Like,
yes.
you guys have had a ton going on. And this summer, you guys played Warped Tour. Well, one date of Warped Tour. You guys won the Ernie Ball Battle of the Bands, right?
Yes, we did.
Well, I was going to ask you how that whole experience was.
It was cool. It was nice to get to go out and play with a whole bunch of national bands that we've been following around for a while. A lot of bands that we really like, and it was kind of just an honor. It's a festival that's been around since I was a kid, and I used to go to the Warped Tour every year. And it was really just a great experience to finally be a part of something that has been around for so long and is as respected. And it's basically just like something you have to do in the summer. You have to go to Warped Tour, and that's where everybody goes, and it was just awesome to be a part of it. And, we promoted, met a lot of people, and we gave away free waters all day. That was fun. And then I got sunburned.
Yeah, I feel like everybody gets the Warped Tour sunburn.
Yeah, no, I decided it was a good idea to wear an obnoxiously deep V that day, and lo and behold, it looks like I'm wearing a man tuxedo. No, the whole experience is worth everything. I mean, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And then I watched Purple Rain afterwards, and it was awesome.
How was, the response from the fans at Warped? Because, Warped Tour is, such an eclectic festival. There's so many fans of different genres there.
The response was actually really great, and to my surprise, because I know over the last couple of years, Warped Tour has gotten a lot heavier with being with the whole metalcore uprising going on, and a lot of breakdowns. And it was nice that just an honest rock band can go out and play just hard rock music and play something a little bit different than they're there to hear, and to get a great response. And actually, our buddies in Six Stories Told, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually were there at the show, and they were standing on the barricade, and it was very cool.
That's awesome.
So it was nice to see some familiar faces from far away, and it was just a really great experience. The whole thing was awesome, and the crowd was awesome, and we had more people than we expected to be there to watch us, and the crowd continuously was growing while we were playing, so that was a great experience.
You guys also have a bunch of big shows coming up, correct? And
we have The Room.
Saturday, the 29th. Huge show. You guys are playing with the August Infinity.
Actually, we're not playing with the August Infinity. The August Infinity had to drop off.
Oh, I did not know this.
They
Why?
decided to drop off, and some band named She Said Fire is playing now, which is rumored to be the new name of the August Infinity, actually. It's the August Infinity with all the same band members, but with a different name.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
And, we can't just say that they renamed the band.
No, I had to make it as confusing as I possibly could.
Good. Okay.
So the August Infinity is playing under their new name, She Said Fire.
Good. And everyone that's listening, I don't care where you are, I don't care if you live in, the Netherlands, you should come to this show, because it's going to be incredible.
I'm honestly going to make a deal. If somebody from the Netherlands shows up, I'm giving you a free CD. We actually had someone on Twitter today say that she wanted to drive 13 hours to the show, and
I saw that.
Yeah, I kind of was just like, I wouldn't really expect anybody to drive 13 hours, so that's really on you. But it's really humbling, it's really nice, and, we're very floored by a lot of our fans. And
okay, so you guys actually have a lot of history at The Room. I saw you guys for the first time at The Room. I actually have yet to see you anywhere except The Room. But you guys have a lot of history with them. You play a lot of shows there. And they're awesome, and anyone that's listening should go support them.
Vern and Laura they've treated us really well over the last year and a half that we've known them. And, they invited us, after the first time we played there, they invited us to come open for Crossfade. And that's just an awesome thing to go into another state and be invited to open for an awesome national like Crossfade. And, it was a great show. And since then, we've built up our reputation in The Room, and we've had a ton of new fans been coming up there, and kids coming in there now wearing our shirts, and it's great to come up there, and especially every single time we play, people are on stage with us at the end of the show, and that's literally the best feeling in the world, where I want to rock out on stage, but I can't because there's so many people on stage, and that's an awesome feeling. So, The Room has always been they've always treated us really well, and, we're glad to have them on board with us.
Yeah, and I love that it's so close and I get to see you guys like every time that you play there. So you had mentioned before, even though it was like totally irrelevant, like we were talking about something completely different, but you did mention the new album.
Yes.
So I have to ask.
The Sound.
Yes, You, Me, and the Sound. So I know that I asked you this a while ago, like when we did the interview at the Battle of the Bands finals, but how is this record going to be like similar or different to The Burning and the Falling Down? Because like you gave me one answer then, but like now that it's like, because you guys are almost done with it, right?
Yeah, we're pretty close. We're doing vocals right now, and we actually just got back the first mix to the single for the title track for You, Me, and the Sound, and we're kind of going over that, trying to figure out what we want to tweak, what we want to bring up, what we want to bring down, and kind of just overall wanted to make sure that it comes out to be the best thing it's going to possibly, that it can be. And we're actually working with Mike Watts over at Voodoo Studios, who actually mixed our first record, which was our self-titled EP. He also mixed and mastered Burning and the Falling Down. We also recorded that entire record in Voodoo. And we also, like I said, since our inception, we've had an incredibly large history with Voodoo Studios, and Mike has been super supportive of us as long as I've known. I mean, even before I was in Face the King, when I was in Sear with Eric, we were getting ready to work with Mike at Voodoo when he was in his old studio, and he's been with us for a long time. So as far as the production value goes, if you heard the last record, I was very proud of that record. I think it sounds like it's ready to go on the shelves. It's going to be just as good, if not even better, because now you have another year and a half of experience in mixing and recording. That it only really goes up from there. As far as the sound goes, it's different. We have different musicians in the band. Now we finally have the addition of Dan on guitar, so you're going to get a totally different vibe of leads and melodies, and Dan's he's a monster of a guitar player. So you're going to get to hear some new layers that you maybe didn't get to hear on Burning because you didn't have that creative mind in the band at the time. So it's great to hear Eric and Dan really vibe off of each other on the leads. Bass is a little bit fatter, the drums are a little bit cooler, and it's just overall it's going to be a different experience for Face the King, but it's going to have all the elements that people liked from Burning and the Falling Down. But I think it's just going to be the next step for us. Is really all it is. It's the natural progression of a band, and we're always trying to be a constant evolution of what we were. So it's you got to keep evolving, and people get really bored if you keep putting out the same record, and it's kind of like the forward motion of Radiohead because they keep changing.
Do you have an expected release date for the album? Is it a full length or an EP? I forget.
We don't really know yet. There's some things that are going on with this, and we don't know if there's a possibility we might go in and record more. There's a possibility we might not. So I guess we're going to have to find out. We don't even know. We don't know what's going on with it. There's a lot. We know whatever's going on. We're excited about, and it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, maybe we'll release it. But it's one of those things. It's when we release it, it's going to be right. It's going to be exactly what it's supposed to be, and it's not going to be. We're not going to put out an EP just for the sake of putting out an EP.
Right.
So we want to make sure that everything, no stone has been left unturned, if you will. Makes
sense. So does that mean there's no predicted release date at this point because you don't know if you're done recording or not?
Well, there's no expected release date. I'm going to say it's going to be 11/2000 something.
At this rate,
we're going to hope the world doesn't end in December.
Good.
Because then we're in trouble, because we might not get the record out then.
Because that's the worst thing that could have happened.
Yeah, that would be the worst. Aside from everybody in the world dying, Face the King will not be releasing a CD. Unless we're the only 4 people remaining, then we'll start our own record label. We'll be the biggest band in the world to ourselves.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So, I know that you said you don't really know when it's going to be released, but after this non-existent release date comes, are you guys going to tour, or are you going to... What are you guys going to do?
The goal is to keep touring. We fortunately and unfortunately, we haven't played Long Island even really The last time we played Long Island was Warped Tour, and the time before that was months before. You know, I honestly can't remember the last time we really played Long Island, and it's because we want to keep staying on the road. We want to make new fans. You know, we could play the same 100, 200, 300 people on Long Island over and over and over again, but there's no forward motion then. That's why we're constantly out on the road, and we're constantly coming back to the room, why we're going to Massachusetts, why we're going to Philly, Pittsburgh. We're basically going wherever the shows are, where we know that we're going to make some progress. That's what we do. You know, we work really hard for what we do, and you know, we follow up on Twitter, and we try to, you know, we constantly ask our fans where we should play. You know, where do you want us to go? Do you want us to come to you? I don't think anybody said no yet, but one day someone's going to be like, no, do not come to my city, even though I love you.
Do not come back to Brookfield.
Yeah. Vern would have a heart attack if I never came back to Brookfield. But
I would have a heart attack.
Oh my goodness, at such a young age. But yeah, no, the goal is really to tour and really play the hell out of the record. And we want to, you know, we're already out right now playing a lot of songs from our new record, and we're trying to give that experience now for the new record, get people excited for it. And hopefully by the time the record comes out, you'll already know some of those songs pretty well, and you'll be able to sing along to them. It's going to be a new experience when you finally get to sit down in your car, you get to listen to it on your stereo, and you get to put it in for that first time. It's going to be a totally different experience, and you know, I think this is going to really surprise some people in the best way possible. It's, you know, just off the one mix I heard, I was like, it's a pretty good song. And I play it all the time, and you know, you can hear that song 1,000 times in the studio, and then you sit down and you actually listen to it, and you get a new understanding for it. You get to really sit down and relax and just appreciate it. So, you know, once you and the band become impressed with your own music, then you know that it started, that you know that something's clicking, you know it's right. So that's kind of what it is, what we're doing right now. We want to play the hell out of it and get it on the road, let everybody hear it. We want everybody to hear it.
That's exciting for you guys, though. It sounds like you guys have some really good things coming up.
Yes.
We just don't know when.
TBA.
Alright, so I'm done asking my questions, but I just got a few questions. Well, more than a few questions.
How many people are talking to you on Twitter right now from our
Oh, it's just Lizzie Liz.
Oh, okay.
I love her. She's great.
Okay. The answer is yes, I love her. No, I can't make it to Florida next weekend. I do still like Dunkin' Donuts, though I definitely like Starbucks more. Turkey cheddar bacon is incredible from Dunkin' Donuts. However, I will still take spinach, egg white, and feta wrap from Starbucks any day of the week.
Okay, well, none of those were actually her questions.
Okay, I didn't know. I just figured.
Well, she wants to know, when did you start playing bass?
Yes, I've been playing bass for 13 years.
Sweet.
And I've been playing guitar for 10.
Was there anyone in particular that got you interested in playing?
Yes, actually it was my dad. And my dad is a bass player also, and I told him I wanted to play, you know, I went through drums and I went to guitar. I quit them both, and then when I started playing, when I started to want to play, I told my dad, and he gave me a bass and a small amp and just said, you know, keep playing, you're never going to have to worry about, you know, the equipment that you need. And, you know, when I was younger, he would help me out and make sure that I had what I needed so that I could do what I wanted to do. I mean, now at this point, obviously, I've been paying for my own things for a long time, but, you know, he's really inspired me a lot, and I used to go see him all the time, and when I'd be there, we'd always make time to play together, and he'd show me things that he knew, I'd show him what I learned, and, you know, it was a really crazy day, the day that my dad was like, you know, Joey, you're a better bass player than I am, and I still don't believe him. I really still don't think that I am, but, you know, he's always inspired me through my whole life, whether it be bass playing or whether it's been just being there for me, so really my biggest musical influence is my dad, and I know that's totally corny, but that's the truth.
No, that's cute.
Papa DeMarco.
As a bass player, what do you think can help a bass player to be more noticed and avoid that whole, like, being overlooked thing? Like, whether it's your stage presence or whatever else there is?
Well, I mean, as I stated before, bass player is the instrument that nobody notices, but everyone's going to notice when it's gone. I think the problem is that many bass players kind of have a preconceived notion that they are overlooked, so they tend to make their bass lines super busy, super complicated, almost to the point where it loses the point of the song. You know, I think part of being noticed, and especially in the way that I play, my whole philosophy is keep the groove locked down, keep the low end in there. You know, I don't play a lot of necessarily complicated parts. I mean, my parts aren't super easy, but they're very rhythmic with the drum, and a lot of bass players tend to fall off of the fact that they need to play with a drummer. So I think the only way you can really be noticed is to stay tight with the drummer, and once the bass player and the drummer lock into a groove and hit that pocket, the bass player is going to be noticed. It's a natural thing. So once you hear the drum hitting the doom doom doom, and the bass player is hitting right in with them, you're going to feel that bass in a totally different way than if you're not playing along with it. So I really think playing along with the drummer and really sticking to that rhythm is the best way to be noticed. You don't have to be complicated to be noticed.
Alright, she has one more question.
Okay.
And she wants to know, what do you do when you're not playing with Face the King?
There's a life outside of Face the King?
I mean, I didn't think so, but I guess she does.
Can she tell me about this alleged life?
Why don't we ask her?
No, I'm just kidding. when I'm not with Face the King and I'm not practicing with them and I'm not playing shows, at home generally with our tour manager, and we are finding venues, and literally all we do is Face the King work. And I have a super sad life, because all I do is practice, and then I go home and take my work home with me with that. But it's actually really exciting. It's really fun, and I'm super blessed to have it, and to have that work ethic, and the other guys in my band have that work ethic too, where we get home from practice at 2 a.m, we're all back on Twitter again, talking to everybody.
Except Eric.
Except for Eric, but Eric, listen, Eric does a lot of other things for us that we, again, I'm not allowed to talk about them, but he does a lot of huge things for us. He handles a lot of our business for us, while we get to do the fun stuff like Twitter, and we get to help we find the venues. We're sending out emails all day, all night, and it's very busy. And I also watch Purple Rain a lot.
Good. Alright, well, I have one more question for you.
Who is this one from?
This is from an unnamed person.
Is it really unnamed? Is it Andrew?
No, it is not.
Damn it.
This person, I don't think that I should reveal his or her identity.
Come on.
Because I think that it will be conflict of interest in your answer. Okay, so this unnamed person wants to know who your favorite member of Civil Pilots is.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take an awful assumption and say that this is Sam, because Sam did say that he loved me in the beginning of this interview. And I'm going to still say Ben anyway. But I do love Sam also.
You just love Ben more.
Possibly Nick the most.
Nick is great.
I know, he's adorable. Tim is my favorite member of Civil Pilots.
Okay, good. Alright, thank you so much, Joey, for taking the time to talk tonight. And good luck with everything to you guys, and I can't wait to see you next weekend.
You're welcome. And please, don't forget to follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/FaceTheKing. Also at FaceTheKing on Twitter.com, and also our website, FaceTheKingBand.com. And I think we have Reverb Nation /FaceTheKing. Sweet. Alright, Tori, I'll talk to you later.